We're excited to get going. The snow's cleared. Plainsman Park's open for our players. We've got 21 days till our season starts. So this is that time of the year where every college baseball coach and player and soon-to-be fan is going to be excited to start college baseball on February 14. A couple of comments and thoughts. I was walking into Neville Arena to see you guys today and walked across the basketball floor and seeing College Game Day bus outside. That momentum, that excitement that Bruce and the boys have brought this year have been absolutely amazing. So it's a fun time with our students and our athletic department experiencing so many of our sports doing good. But this run that this basketball team on is just inspiring to us all. Our tickets, single game tickets, looks like it'll be the 6th year of straight sellouts for this ballpark, and with all the renovations to Plainsman Park that are, I'm told, to be set to be on time, on schedule, and ready for the season. We've just continued to outpace ourselves on the season ticket. So everything we do, all of our sports, and especially in baseball, our fans have just done an amazing job. But I'm told today at 1 o'clock that our single game tickets go on sale today. So hopefully people that wasn't part of the season ticket campaign would look into that today and join us at Plainsman Park here this year. A couple of thoughts and prayers real quick, and also have respect and privacy for families and stuff. But Francis Sanda, who I think's been working at courtside here for about 53 years for Auburn basketball, passed away this year. He was a baseball letterman, was a dear friend. My favorite story of our interaction is him telling me he's the only undefeated baseball coach in the history of Auburn baseball, having to replace, I guess, Coach Nix one day to pull out a victory. And then Michelle Kesey, who's worked for our athletic department for a long time. I think of Michelle. She's a friend to us all. And, thoughts and prayers with that family. And then wanted to just touch on Cade Ballou, a exciting freshman from right here in Auburn. He's a sophomore now, and he's got big plans. We're just asking for prayers for his mom, Stacy Ballou, who's in Houston, MD Anderson Hospital out in Houston. And this would be a time that I think the parents and the family and the baseball team and Auburn family in general should throw some prayers up for Stacy and Roger and that entire family. And just know that our athletic department, we worked hard yesterday to get Cade and his brother out to see the family. That's important. But our thoughts and prayers, and coaches and players and everybody that cares will be there for Cade. But special prayers for Stacy today. But nonetheless, we'll keep working and get on this field today for our first official team practice, and we'll try to do squad games to mirror the season these 3 weeks prior, and that means we'll squad Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday for the next 3 weeks. That'll mirror the baseball schedule in hopes of ramping pitchers up, getting at bats, and hopefully these guys competing to figure out who's going to play where and the hierarchy, and trying to give every player on this team a role that can help us be successful. And it's a challenging schedule, all the preseason stuff. I saw us ranked in one and not in another. It doesn't matter. We have to earn it. But this amazing schedule, again, playing in this league, that gives you every opportunity to write your own script. So we're looking forward to getting kicked off against Holy Cross in 21 days.
But pitchers always throw during that kind of winter break, but you guys have kind of ramped up on purpose to kind of keep guys moving forward. What did you see out of those guys, I guess, the last couple of weeks, and how much do you think that has helped the pitchers get prepared for this short kind of lead up to the season?
Yeah, they're ahead of schedule is the answer. And, you have all the analytics and things of that nature that give you some suggestions on where guys are at coming back, maybe it's in the past. But I'm still using the old test of like how you feel, and just they're looking their eye, they feel like they're ahead of the game. So I think it's positive. I think most of the guys are happy that they threw 3 or 4 pins instead of waiting to get back to campus with the 5-week ramp up going into the season. So I do think it's been positive, and I think you guys probably saw last week one of the other steps or votes or things that have been passed is giving college baseball a 35-day ramp-up period beginning next year. So it looks like we'll stay at 2 fall contests instead of expanding to 4, which we've been doing the last couple of years. But it does look like the favorable thing that we got was having a longer ramp up for college baseball, which would be 35 days, which is more than we get now, probably 2 weeks, basically what we're talking about. So I think that's going to help college baseball, because this is probably the most what we'd call dangerous time from a health standpoint, because these guys are trying to get ready so quick. So we did try to mirror that a little bit from a voluntary standpoint, and the feedback's been positive.
Butch, speaking of health, any limitations heading into the start of practice?
Well, Cade's not here with us, and he's a huge vital part. So he's one, but definitely healthy. I guess Cade Cole Edwards is coming back after missing a majority of the fall. He had a very unique surgery and things in his lower half, one of his legs, but he's back 100%. He needs these 3 weeks. Can he jump in and be a factor for us? Today will be that opportunity for him, the next 3 weeks, to kind of show us what he's doing there. I guess the one position player coming back a little bit slow has been Bub Terrell, more of oblique, maybe swinging over the break while he was away. So we've been a little extra cautious. He'll probably play defense today and not hit, and hopefully after this first round we can get him back on the field swinging the bat next week. But he will play defense, but just that torque and rotation of swinging the bat and those obliques being so tedious, especially in these temperatures, we'll wait the first 4 squad games before we start giving him at bats. Every other position player is expected to play, this weekend, this first round of squad games. Pitching-wise, kind of along the same fronts. Mason Cook had the surgery, which we've already reported. I think Connor McBride's a returner, has had a little hip thing that'll hold him out for this first rotation. Unless I'm missing somebody, I think. Yeah, Gatwood had a procedure in December, non-throwing hand wrist. So it looks like him and Cook opening day could be in jeopardy. But I think realistic for both of those guys that we would target for Connor Gatwood and Mason Cook to be SEC play a month into the season is what we'd target for those two pitchers. I think outside of that, everybody's be able to throw this first round as of now.
Butch, do you feel like you're going to use these 3 weeks to set a lineup, or with the depth you have with position players, do you think you might maybe the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season sort of play a lot of guys and see how they sort of perform in games?
Yeah, I think the schedule gives you that opportunity, and I still think there's some things to be settled. And I just think it depends on where you're at on the field or what we're talking about. So, Ike Irish did a great job behind the plate, but we got 3 or 4 guys that we think are capable of being Division I catchers. But Ike's in a great place there, and it's really, we already know the talent from all of our guys, but Ike's just embraced, our pitchers are going to go back to like we've done most of my career of being able to run their own show. That means call their own game and run it. Catcher's vital to that. Ike's done an amazing job with that. McMurray's back. He missed the majority of the fall, but he's kind of an incumbent to where there's numbers, power numbers, and played the position well. I'm excited to see him back out there because he hasn't been. He's good. One of my biggest deals is, center field. You got Bristol Carter that came in with the absence of a starter last year. You got him and you got Cade Ballou. I think we have 2 center fielders. I don't see that as a problem. I see that as a blessing. A shortstop. You got Eric Snow that absolutely played great. You got Derek Fabian. Eric Guevara, led us in hitting, was phenomenal. He can play some third base. All these freshmen that we're excited about, we got to get them on the field. So I think guys in the locker room kind of know what's kind of like written in stone at this point, but there's still a lot up for debate. And I think our roster's too deep positionally to say this is what we're going to do. I do think that first weekend especially, I think you can see 14 different guys getting in at bat, and I think you can see 10 to 12, if not all the way up to 14 guys actually drawing a start first weekend. So to answer the question, I do think we'll use the first part of that schedule unless you really start getting some guys really start distancing themselves, because the fall it stayed pretty jumbled, but it stayed jumbled above the line. It stayed jumbled with guys playing good baseball.
But you mentioned some of these guys, but how valuable is it that, Chase Fralick, think about Rembert, Addison Kleps, Jet Johnson, you got some guys that can play multiple spots How valuable is that going into a season to have guys that you can kind of plug in different places?
It's huge, and I thought we did a great job in the fall. It was like musical chairs, and can Remberts, for example, can he play left field? Can he play second base? Yes, yes, and doing all that. I do think we got to drill down a little bit and slow that down to really get comfortable at a position where you can help the team the most. So we do have to define that. We do have to draw down on a lineup at some point. I like the diversity of the lineup, meaning I think this is the most left-handed hitters we can roll at you if you really want to play that game and have a certain starter on the mound. I think we can do that, and I think we can stand there and try to play station to station with enough power to do that and be successful, not just do it and not have success. I think we can get a little more right-handed if we need to and run the bases and bunt and do some of those things a little bit more as well. So I think there's some diversity to this instead of us just being one thing, and that's because of the 12, 13 pieces. And Jet Johnson's a good name. Addison Klepch played amazing the second half of the fall. Those are a couple of names that we probably haven't been throwing around in our storylines a ton in the fall that I think you're going to see and go like, well, who's this guy? Or where'd he come from? And they've been there the whole time, and they started playing good baseball for us. So I'm interested to see if they can pick up where they left off and grow. A few of the guys maybe we didn't talk about as much at the beginning and the middle of the fall that really finished strong. And to seeing how if they've maintained that in these first 3 weeks is going to be important.
For Guevara, even the limited action that he got for you last year, how much does that help him as he gets ready to go full bore this season?
Yeah, I don't know what percent he was at, Andy, at the end or playing in the spring, but it wasn't as high as I thought it was. I think after evaluating and getting through the season, I think it was lower. I think a brace is at 75%, and I say that because of what I saw in the fall. The mobility, the range, we knew it was a challenge for him, but for him to come out and hit 500 in the fall and to play free and easy the way he did, I think it's the player we thought we had when he got hurt and then when he tried to play in the fall. But I'm thankful he did it. So my deal is he's not in a brace. That's great to report today that he'll try it out, and hopefully I expect him to play all 3 games, probably third, short, and a third. I really need him to get comfortable with the left side of the infield in both positions this weekend, probably third base 2 of the 3 days. I'm going to call it return of investment. I hope we get a return on that investment that we got out of Cade Ballou getting to play more than I thought. Cale Strickland getting to probably catch more than I thought as a true freshman. And Guevara would be in that same vein where he played more than I thought, couldn't play at 100%, and I thank him for it. But I also, what I'm telling those guys and tap them on the shoulder is you get a return. We get a return on that investment this year because we went through last year. I'm excited about Eric for all the things we talk about, how we think he can hit and how we think he can defend. But he's a great teammate. He's got he rushes in and drags out every day. He loves the game of baseball, and I'm looking forward to his spring and that return on the investment of what he had to go through last year.
Butch, any pitchers come back from the break, maybe impress you, taking a step forward? You just like what you saw?
Yeah, I put it up in the locker room. Every coach has got a slogan for the year. Ours is "Go Mad." Go make a difference. Hey, chips fall where they may. Are we going to host a regional? Are we going to Omaha? We're going to be in the middle, last of our league. This league can present every bit of that, and we see that in all of our sports, how good this league is. But I don't want it to fall. I don't want us to lose the feel of being able to absolutely make a difference. I'm answering your question in a weird way because I want our guys to run as hard as they can home to first. Meaning if you get a base hit, the person that stops you is the defense. So many guys, they run across the base and they're already checked up. I want us to learn how to run home to first, kind of like John Wooden straight lines. Instead of watching a scoreboard, are we running straight lines? We'll get open more. We'll get in better position for rebounds. And I want our team to run home to first harder than anybody in college baseball. So every banquet I've done, you guys today, to our team, that's a standard. And I feel like if I can get them to run hard as home as first as possible, run straight lines, do it the right way, make the defense stop you, that's when you should stop after a single. Would that bleed into other things? I think so. And then our pitchers, we're going to award the high strike percentage who gets first opportunity, not just how hard you throw. But I want such a commitment to the strike zone. That's where we have to make the biggest turnaround if we want to get to where we've been able to get to in the past. And to make a difference on the field, it's got to start with strike percentage on the mound. And I know there's 20 things, but I gave one thing for the offense and I give one thing for the pitching staff So to answer finally your question, they got to go out here these 3 weeks, not from a bullpen standpoint, not from wherever they've been training the last 50 days. They got to go out here for 3 weeks and lay down what they really throw. And what they really throw is not 95. What they really throw is a strike percentage. And I feel like getting Auburn baseball back to what we were doing is a pitching staff that can throw the highest percentage strikes as we possibly can put together, and then let the players make the lineup out from there.